Welcome to the Glorious Pro Wrestling Podcast, where two nice boys talk about pro wrestling. I'm Andy. With me is Danny. And Danny,
audio
you
sounds
were
so
back.
good.
You're back. Wrestlemania happened.
Speaking of being back, there's plenty of things. People back. Pickleback. People back.
Nickelback.
That we are gonna. You ever do that? You ever drink a pickleback after you take a shot of liquor?
Oh, I've done that one.
Oh, I've done that. I know what that
I
is.
like pickles, so
I like pickles
pickle
too.
juice. So I would take a shot of pickle juice even without any kind of liquor.
Sometimes I just drink it normal.
Sometimes that's just all I drink.
Sometimes it's all I drink, and I feel like partying.
I just toss the pickles and then drink the juice.
Yeah, I'll just put the pickles in Gatorade. They'll feel like they're in the same juice.
Yeah,
because it's green. Because I drink the green Gatorade.
Oh! You're in the green territory.
The cucumber lime.
Oh, okay, that one's really good, but that one's new.
Okay, so I like the classic lemon. I like the classic lemon lime.
Okay.
I think that's pretty unfuckwithable. I like the orange.
Interesting.
And I like the white.
Wow.
What do you go for?
Blue Frost every time.
God, that's and that makes sense because it's so available. That is so available. No, no.
I think like if I were to go traditional colors, I would probably go with the red. It'd be like red or the frost blue.
I just prefer lemon lime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I think it's just the best one. But also I like the Pedialyte Gatorades. Or just Pedialyte. But they have the Gator Light.
Mm-hmm.
I really fuck with those too.
Interesting.
That selling point really works on me.
That's funny. Yeah. The cucumber lime is
oh God, it's so fucking especially when it's really fucking cold. Yeah. And it just like hits your fucking mouth, and you're just like, "Oh my God, this."
It's funny because I think there's probably a lot of people that are like this. I can see how it would taste gross, but I like cucumber.
No, I think it's one of the. I think there was even like a couple lists, and it's like top up 5.
There? Oh wow,
I think so. I think there is. Cool. I think like orange is up there. I think they put classic up there. I think the white one's up there too. Anyway. You're not here to listen to us talk about Gatorade.
What do you mean?
Although you will learn about us throughout listening to the show. But we are going to talk about fucking Wrestlemania. We're gonna
talk about Wrestlemania.
We're gonna share our
probably opinions. Gatorade is probably the most entertaining thing about the conversation for night one.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
We're starting off this way.
I don't agree. I don't agree. When they fucking launched into that video package, I was very much like, just to start off the night.
Yeah,
I was like, man, this really is on another level, man.
Yeah,
Every
video package was fantastic.
It's so good, and it's just so Hollywood, and to that extent it is kind of like eye rolling because you're like, oh my God, this is like what Hollywood almost makes fun of when Hollywood makes fun of Hollywood about how but like I don't know, I was immediately kind of hooked into the sensationalism. And they were blending footage of like Shawn Michaels and the new stars today, and it was just like, oh my God, yeah, this is fucking WrestleMania. For real.
Yeah, they get you hyped for sure.
They do. And then shocked at, I mean, of course it sold out. Air quotes. Of course the crowd was massive.
Were there 60,000 people? Who knows? But were there a shit ton
And then you
of people?
take that and you divide it by 2, and that's 12, and don't go. Okay, that's this night 2 though. We got to reserve that.
Yeah.
But just thinking about how many people can afford that was what I was thinking. I mean, I was looking around the stands going like, dude. That's $50,000. That's $50,000. That guy got $50,000. Yeah. That kid got $50,000.
Did you see the video with somebody, like a fan, telling Randy how much they paid?
How did Randy react?
He was like surprised by it, and he was like, "That's a lot of money."
It truly is.
He's like, "It's kind of." I don't know if I don't know if the right word was disgusting, but he was surprised by it. Like, whoa,
Yeah, he
and
was
yeah,
like,
that
"Holy
is a lot
fuck,
of
dude,
money. Yeah,
for wrestling?"
for being floor seats is like upwards of like 30K or more. I think lower bowl too was, so you're not even floor. It was like just as much. So it's like, god damn. And
Yeah.
then did you see the seats on the stage? I mean, come
Yeah, I
on.
did. Yeah. I wouldn't want those.
No.
I like to see the entrances. You get completely deprived of like half a third of like
Yeah.
the event, because it is like entrances.
I mean, unless you have like a little TV right next to your seat, like a personal TV.
Sure. And I like to watch wrestling on TV because I like the announcers and shit. So
Yeah.
if it was like an airplane, basically I just want to be on an airplane and watch wrestling, and I want to pay $30,000 for that experience.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah. So
As much as I want to go and see this and experience it and be there and all that, for that amount of money,
those
hard
were just the
pass.
two things that immediately hit me when it started. Was like,
Yeah.
wow, holy fuck, this feels like a big deal. And two, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. It really
Um,
is. Yeah.
but anyways, cutting into, yes, I believe even just looking at the cards, there was more loaded on night 2 that I was interested in. I'm sure there were some fans who were more interested in night 1.
Yeah. I think there was definitely a few. I don't know. I think it's just I
I think the
feel
Roman Punk Rollins had a lot of fans
excited.
behind it.
Yeah.
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 I think what else did we have? There was Tiffy and Charlotte on night 1. That was night 1, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, there was Jacob and LA Knight.
Mhm.
So you had some titles. You had a tag team title.
Mhm.
So like I think there was like some I think it had some fans, but yeah, I was more interested in the stuff going on in night 2.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. Um cool. I mean, should we get into
Yeah,
it?
let's start from the top. Yeah.
Cool. Before we get started, don't forget to follow us at Pacific Wrestling Network on Instagram. You can follow us and get all of
The
our
scoops.
content, all the scoops, all the
We've
posts,
got
all the shit
interviews.
posts.
Sometimes they don't have audio, but sometimes they do.
And
And
maybe I'll
when we're
just post
interviewing
the
without
video
audio,
with
you
no
can
audio.
you can ask us what we were talking about, and we will
We do have
fully
some
tell
great
you.
videos. We do have some great interviews. Um, there was a lot of Pacific Northwest representation at WrestleMania week, which is
Oh, at the
fantastic.
week, yes.
Prestige had a great show. Watch that. Zay, which we have Zay Perez, one half of the Flamin' Aces,
Flamin'
and
Aces.
Randy Myers, also both who we have interviews
He
with.
was our first, yeah, that
It
was
was
our
our
first
first one.
interview.
They were on Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and it was great. They did great stuff in a tag. It was like a 5-on-5 tag,
That's what's
um,
up.
and it was awesome to see them like being on such a big show for Effie and all of that. And then on Prestige, freaking Sinner and Saint against the Lycos gym. Dude, you gotta watch it. It's so good. It's just crazy. And it's just like, man, like some of these shows I was more excited to watch than like
The
going
Mania.
into night one. Um,
Sure.
and I was just like, there was just a little bit more hype. A lot of WWE ID guys were doing tournaments and stuff too. So yeah, I mean, you can catch all those. I think Triller has most of them. Defy had a show, which was also good. He had
Dusk.
and Dusk. I think Dusk is supposed to be on their YouTube. I haven't checked back. I asked, and they told
I
me.
asked.
I asked. I wanted to know.
I wanted to see.
Um, they said that it was going to be posted to their YouTube after the show. I haven't seen anything, so I'll have to check back. Um, but yeah, they also had a lot of Flamin' Aces were there on that show,
Yep.
and there was a lot of representation everywhere. I mean, dude, I saw. So I think Sonico is from Las Vegas. He had a backyard show
Oh,
just
wild.
it was like at midnight, and there was just like Cody had a match with, I think Cody Chun had a match with uh I think it's G Sharp, and then there was a few others. Travis Williams had a match with Johnny Robbie. Just random, just, and you just see like these clips in their backyard, and freaking C4 Guillermo was out there grilling, so it just looked like a fun time, and I was just like, man,
Sounds awesome.
that's so cool. It just looks like a bunch of buddies just having a match in their backyards just for the fuck of it and having fun. So it just looked cool. So anybody that can catch those, Triller, look them up. Prestige, find those. Great
There's some
shit.
quality
Prestige is
wrestling.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get started with night one. And the first thing that I want to say
Is
is I expected more from night one.
yeah.
Um, and I think it
You
was
mean like drama?
more drama, more, I don't know, like right off the
Wasn't
bat in the intro, like the beginning, the first match, I just, it didn't feel, like, a lot of these matches felt like Raw matches or SmackDown matches, where it didn't just hit that level of like, oh shit, this is what it's about. This is Mania. And I think what could have helped a lot is not having Jey Uso go first.
dude, that was a real bummer. So you win the Rumble, and the winner of the Royal Rumble, they say it, I don't know. They spin it however which
It's
way they want to
changed.
work.
It's changed.
It's changed because you're supposed to main event WrestleMania. Well, now
Yeah.
it's a title shot. Well, now it's a title shot and the opportunity to main event WrestleMania. And they show Jey Uso from the back, and his gear says on his back, main event.
Yeah. Main
And
event
it's
Jey Uso, man.
and it's the opening, and it is in fact not the main event. And I
No.
just was immediately like bummed. I was like, way to not, and this is nitpicky, I get it, but it's just like a visual cue that like I would have just done
Yeah.
away with.
Yeah. On
I would have
paper,
been
it didn't make sense.
I would have been throwing the main event thing away. I would have been pushing just the Jay and Gunther thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it just reminds you of like Royal Rumble, kind of all the things that have happened since then that unfortunately kind of don't link up to
Right.
what
Yeah.
makes the Rumble exciting.
And
Which
that
means
isn't.
next year it's difficult to get invested in the Rumble because it's like, who the fuck knows? You're gonna backstage attack the winner of the Royal
Yeah.
Rumble? Like nothing is nothing, and like it's fine. It's wrestling. The card is subject to change, and we're very picky as fans. But
We're
like,
critics. They don't like critics.
they don't like critics. They just
They
want you
want
to
you
be
to
a fan
absorb, and they
because
want
I
you to.
blundered up the booking. So
Yeah.
just consume the product and continue to,
And be quiet.
yeah, just continue to buy our shit
Yeah.
and
But that's the
invest
fun of
money
it. I mean, like when.
to an extent. We all know the
Yeah,
toxicity of the
yeah. I
wrestling
mean, it's
community,
fun to
but
talk about it, and it's just like, oh man, like I really wish this would have happened. And I think in this case, it's like Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble is now less important than winning the Elimination Chamber. I mean, who gives a shit who won the Elimination Chamber?
bro,
But
yeah,
like, how is winning the
I
Royal Rumble now less than
the
the Elimination
following,
Chamber?
yeah, I agree with that
That's
assessment.
crazy. It's
It's a,
always been the
it's
Royal
just a
Rumble.
bummer. It takes a, and it's like I'm sure they can sit backstage or in a writing room or in their offices and they go, who fucking cares? It's the Royal Rumble. There's nothing that's gonna. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's too big. It's almost like the company itself. It's just it's too big for anybody to really do anything about it.
Yeah.
They're gonna complain about it online. Fucking let them.
They're
We're
gonna complain
fucking
about it
shoving
anyway.
Slim Jims down people's fucking throats in Prime. Like, we're still
Yeah.
fucking making enough. Like, no one's gonna not watch our product, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Which is
yell online.
unfortunate,
Fucking
but
let
it's
them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't give a fuck, dude.
it's almost like their own product doesn't even mean anything to them. Their own, history of Royal Rumble winner, main eventing WrestleMania. Almost always right. Almost
Dude,
always have
they
they
can
been,
just they don't give a they and I can see yes. They're
but
just
it's
like,
about
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, yeah.
Let them.
But Jey Uso
Uh,
did win, beat
as I
Gunther,
predicted, as
as I predicted.
as I
Um,
predicted,
yeah,
I
this was a long shot, and maybe that's why I went first. I don't know, because that it was it was foreseen that this was going to happen. It could have not happened. Um, I think
yeah,
the
but I mean,
finish was kind of I didn't like that. I didn't
right.
I didn't like how fast Gunther tapped. And
Um,
it just felt, I think that's where it was like, ooh, that was quick.
right.
But it was like 15-minute match.
It was odd.
Um
It was
and it
really
was
not Gunther's style
no, and I
to
know that it's
cave.
happened to him in the past, but
Sure.
I mean, play into working the neck, play into something that he feels that level of threat to tap out so quickly. I would have loved to see a little bit more violence, especially after what happened to Jimmy and what Gunther did to Jimmy.
I
Um,
agree with that too.
just to give that tap a little bit more meaning, because now you've Gunther, who's this powerful guy,
He's a
has
general.
tapped so quickly, and now what do you do with him?
Right.
Can anybody make
Um,
him tap so quickly just by
because it's like a
nice?
it's a very firm end. It seems like from Raw, and we'll talk about Raw. Maybe we'll just pepper it in. Seems like he's getting into a program with Pat McAfee now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
That's
think
a
it was. I don't know what's happening there. From what I've seen, it's
that's
just
a
to write off Pat McAfee for like until there's some NFL shit happening.
okay, because I was like,
Yeah,
that's a far fall from the main event title scene is doing a bit with the announcers.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, they're not far from putting. They've done it with Michael Cole. Pat McAfee's been in the ring. I mean, it's
yeah,
not out of
but
the realm of possibility. Does
no,
this
it's
suck for
not.
Gunther? Sure does. Think there's plenty of other titles around that he can go after. That's not the world title right now. Um, but I mean, we'll see what they even do with Jey Uso
Right, because shit, it was the next match. The women's tag
following
when
that.
was following that, correct?
It was the New Day tag.
It was the New Day tag. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Another
Um,
one that felt strange. I like it just
I was.
started so
It
like
was also Telegraph.
yeah.
I, and the War Raiders tag title reign has been nothing, to be
Mhm.
honest. There's been nothing there. They were off TV, I think, for a couple of weeks for a long, long time. I think since they won them.
Yeah. In a
Um,
match that like they what I think it was like a week before WrestleMania that they announced, maybe a week and a half.
yeah,
It
and
was quick.
I hope that's the New Day advocating to one be on WrestleMania and two elevate the tag titles.
Hmm.
Because again, on SmackDown, the reason why it's such a stark difference is on SmackDown you had these titles changing and being competed for, and we're seeing tag teams like a bunch on SmackDown,
Yeah.
and those titles are strangely not defended. Um, but the Raw ones are like kind of not really active a whole lot. So hopefully they'll see some action now that the New Day has them.
I mean, you would hope so.
But we've been disappointed before.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
and on if you want to sprinkle in what happened on Raw, then you
yeah,
had the return of Rusev happening at that time.
and that's what that whole tag title bit was about, culminated to just a single star coming back.
Coming back, yeah.
And that was disappointing. I mean, hey, it's great to see Rusev. I was a big fan of Miro. They took a lot of what was Miro and they put it under Rusev.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know if they could do the
Ru-
whole
Rusev Day shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Bulgarian or Russian
sure,
gimmick right now.
right.
Maybe. I don't know.
They can,
They've been interesting. They've
but
been doing interesting things.
him just being the Miro that he was in AEW, that's all I really need from
Yeah.
that.
Question is, will it work? Hope it does. I don't know if squashing some tag teams is gonna help do that, but
Yeah, and is he aligned with the New Day? Is he taking Big E's spot as an enforcer role? Like, does it even fucking tie in? Is
yeah.
the question.
I mean, I wouldn't
Uh,
hate that. I think that would make pretty good sense.
Rusev Day, New Day. It's
Yeah.
it's a new Rusev
The
Day.
Rusev Day.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You're onto something. I like that.
I like that. But the tag match itself, fine.
Yeah, it was good. No bad no, I don't think any match on this night one was bad.
The
Like
intrigue and the
the
weight
yes,
was
exactly.
lacking, except
Yes.
for maybe one, which we will slowly crawl towards.
Yeah. I think there was some good that was some good stuff. But yeah, I mean, tag team wise, I think it was a good tag team match. I like that they were playing into the whole neck angle for both of them. That
Right.
finish that they do is pretty good and so like unique. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that like used. So that was cool. I always like. I mean, even El Grande Americano did a move that's not really seen, and it's like okay, busting
Yeah.
out new shit
How
in
do
the
you
WWE is
how do you like that
really
angle?
refreshing.
How do you like that El Grande Americano? It's
Me
goofy, but
personally,
yeah, you personally.
um, I think it's fine. I think it's whatever. I
I
don't
think
think.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
just, it's
There's
dumb
some things
goofy
like
wrestling.
yeah, and I don't think. I think the pieces of it that I don't like don't even come from what it is or what it represents or what anything like that. It's more so for me it was commentary on that point um
Of the match?
of that match. Yeah.
Of that particular match?
Yeah. I just I think I want them to play into it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like
you can't
it's stupid as fuck. Like,
yeah.
so you can't just be like, it's Chad Gable. We
Yeah,
all know it's
no.
like, yeah, no, we all know it's Chad Gable. Like, do the kayfabe thing and be
Yeah,
like,
pretend it's not. Pretend you like
think of
Michael
every
Cole's
reason it's not.
Michael Cole's the one that's like, "Oh, that's Chad Gable." It's like, yeah, no shit. But hey, can you at least be like, I think it's Chad Gable for X and Y reason. I think
However,
it's him,
we could
X
never
and Y.
know.
But you will never know. And I don't know where they're gonna go with this
It's
match
yeah,
after,
I
but
don't know. It's just has it. I'm for one, I'm shocked that it was even a part of WrestleMania.
yeah.
Considering
Well,
again, we
yeah,
could talk about
him and Ray. I think his intro was great. The Sapia um old filter.
yeah.
I could have done without that. But I think everything
Oh,
else
it was
looked
cool.
cool.
I liked it.
Yeah,
Would have preferred Rey Mysterio?
in this match, if I mean, since he
He would
was
have
hurt,
taken
no,
the
I would
L.
have preferred Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee's been part of the whole storyline with
Well,
Chad Gable since the
someone he's playing chess.
he's playing
Yeah, I
shit.
agree with you too.
It's just crazy that
Um,
they just inserted Ray Phoenix. It's kind of a fucking shit thing to do to Dragon Lee.
I mean, there's been a lot of shit things that they've done with Dragon Lee. He was
Yeah.
supposed to be
Is he
the
still speed champion?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the addition of Ray Phoenix after Dragon Lee has been part of and with Rey Mysterio against like American Made and Chad Gable and the
Grande
freaking
Americano.
Grande Americano. I think it would have made the most sense to have Dragon Lee go in there and maybe Dragon Lee go over. That would have been a huge, huge thing for him to win
Right.
at
We would rather
WrestleMania.
see that, but to keep this
Because I think
intrigue.
Ray would have beat Grande Americano, to be honest. And I think now what they're
Mysterio?
doing, Mysterio would have. I think he would have
I
won the
I
angle.
think yeah, you have to
Yeah,
on WrestleMania.
But
with Rey
since they
Mysterio's record.
didn't, now you're pushing it back. You instead have him beat Ray
Mm.
Phoenix to then wait
Which
until
again I
Mysterio's
thought
okay.
was a wild choice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it
I'm
was
fine with it. I'm cool with it.
yeah.
I love Chad Gable.
He's so good.
He's
He's
so good,
so
and
good.
he's turned fucking shit sandwiches into very appetizing meals.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he's underrated. I think he's starting to get his flowers with American Made, and now doing this.
I think this
Uh,
can be a whole new. Honestly, what I would do is you do mask versus mask, have
sure,
him lose the mask in a brutal way, right? You know, it's always like I don't like the Eddie and Ray angle where Eddie kind of really destroyed Ray, ripping his
right.
mask, blood. Like
Hmm.
that's what I want to see happen with Chad Gable to
Hmm.
then lose the mask and now you have him as a really bad heel that you have now who wants to, you know, also take the mask of Rey Mysterio. Uh, and I feel like that's can be now his new that click of like, okay, now he's a step up. You know, now he's going after the title. Now he's going after the IC title. Now he's going after hell, even the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, why
Which
not?
he should be at this point a contender for,
Yeah,
but we haven't
and
seen, yeah, him
so
presented that way.
I think the mask versus mask is the way that you end the Grande Americano
Makes sense.
angle here. Um,
I think it would be great if they got a body double.
who is it?
I would love it
Otis?
if they got a body double and it wasn't Chad Gable.
Is this some other dude?
It's just some other dude, very jacked, same tattoo.
But only
Like,
for that match?
yes,
Like only for the match that he lose?
yes,
Yeah, that'd be funny. I
it would
like
be
that.
funny. I would
Yeah,
enjoy that a
it's
lot.
like see Michael Cole. It was not
Yeah, shut the
him.
fuck up.
God, that whole time I was just like, Michael Cole, come on, man.
Come on, Michael
You're a
Cole.
veteran. You can't even call a freaking shooting star press correctly, or a 450. We called the 450 a shooting star. It's like, God damn it, dude.
Just wrap them all up into one.
Yeah.
Pump handle power driver slam.
Yeah. When Pat McAfee has to correct you, I'm like, what's
it's
up?
hey, it's wild. I think about what it's like to sit behind that desk and call X hours
Everything.
of a pay per view.
Well, I think the problem is
Presumably
that,
with somebody in your ear too.
oh, yeah. And I think that's part of the problem with wrestling, right? Like it's hard to some like in sports sometimes like commentators are quiet, you kind of let the play go, you're not really calling everything.
Right.
Nowadays during radio, yeah, you're calling who has the ball, who's going, where it's going, who has
Hmm.
what's happening. But
Like a
in
horse
wrestling when you're
race.
watching it, sometimes you just let it simmer and then you call what you need to. um and I feel
You
like here they're
can, yeah.
just still in that mentality, especially Michael Cole, of like, gotta call it all, gotta do this, gotta always go, go, go. And I feel
It's
like
it's a,
that's where the
it's a
downfall happens.
it's a taste and it's hard because I think a lot of us remember JR calling shit. And he would call it.
Hmm.
I mean, but yeah, there's an art to it. To all
Yeah,
of it. To the cohesion of the team. Um and to when you're story building and when you're action calling and then sometimes they fuck off and they plug other shit like, you know, fucking
Prime.
what's it, they're like, yeah, dude wipes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they got to go to work and do the
Yeah.
advertising, and it's an interesting balance. Everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
Mario Riano, that dude's a fucking caller.
Yeah.
He goes with the fucking match.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Um, and he adds
to it
gravity to it. I
it
love the
is
way
an
that guy
art.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So anyway, let's see. That was a good match though. The
It
stakes,
was.
the
It was
stakes
one
were
of the
like whatever though. To your point, the stakes were like, yeah, okay, there we
plus the
go.
plate in the head. I always love when he uses the plate in his head. I like that Ray Phoenix did the kick and then had to sell his leg because he had the
Right, because he
plate.
has the yeah.
So it all played into it, and it was really well done. I think what for how fast this match happened, which is really what 24 hours when Ray got hurt and they
Sure. Yeah.
had a call who's gonna be next. I thought it was so
Mhm.
cool. But yeah, I think this was one of the best matches of the night. One of
Totally. In ring.
yeah.
In ring. Oh yeah.
Uh,
The next one was pretty good too, in my
I mean, we
opinion.
kind of skipped around, but are you talking about Jade and
Oh
Naomi?
no, there was that. No, we can go back to
Jade
that.
and Naomi was after the New Day, but it's fine. We'll
That
skip it
one
around.
was surprisingly good, to be honest.
It was surprisingly good, except the
They
finish. I
busted out a
mean,
lot of fucking cool shit,
yeah.
a lot of high spots, a lot of heavy moves, a lot of moves I just really like to see.
Hmm.
I honestly really fucking dug the shit out of this match, and they did a lot of fucking reversals
Yeah.
that I thought looked great. Um, there were so many.
Yeah.
And she fucking hucked her up for that power slam.
Powerbomb was great. I think the
Great.
ref should have counted when it needed to count. The fact that it kind of paused was like,
Well, she had to get her up for the jaded to do the
right. But like, just do a one count. Like, if you
Sure,
know
I
she's
get
gonna
what you're
pick her
saying.
up.
I think it's I'm not so nitpicky. I thought I'm waiting for the finisher.
It
So I
just
was
felt
like,
that lag of
holy
like,
fuck, yeah.
yeah, and
But
she's so good. I mean,
dude, they made
both
her look. She made her look great.
Naomi's really
Naomi,
good.
yeah, Naomi is
I think
so
she's the one that
understated.
carried this match. Jade is
Jade's Jade.
always Jade's
Jade
Jade.
is
Jade's
Jade.
gonna be looking awesome.
And it's going to be Jade for a minute until we're until not right, and it's reps, you
Yeah.
know. But man, I thought it was great. Again, the stakes. There's no stakes. It was like a vengeance thing.
Yeah. Which I kind of
Um,
always forget that Naomi was the one to attack her. Like,
oh, you do?
yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't seem like something Naomi would do.
Oh, they sold it really great
Yeah.
on TV. I thought. Um, they've all been doing great with this angle, and that was a good match.
Hmm.
And it went just about as long as it needed to.
Yeah, I think everyone got pretty good amount of time. Jacob Fatu and LA Knight.
Uh yeah, I would also say this is pretty good, but I this was also very telegraphed,
Yeah.
which is a bummer for LA Knight, who I'm also a fan of. Jacob Fatu's just got too fucking much going on for him to
He was
take an
too much.
L at Mania. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fired up. He's geared for success. Like, how are you gonna not give him a WrestleMania moment?
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Who hasn't had a WrestleMania moment? Solo Sokoa,
No, has not.
who has been there for
GOT
3 years.
along with it.
But Jacob Fatu is just a whole other.
He's the next gen, man.
Yeah, he's
I wouldn't be surprised if in like 7 years he's getting shoved down our throats like his cousin.
7. Damn.
You think sooner?
I think
They're
sooner.
just gonna be like, "Love this man,"
Yeah.
and then we're gonna be like, "I don't like when you tell me what to do."
I
So
wouldn't
no,
be surprised if he wins the next Rumble.
maybe. I don't know. He's got a lot of work to do with that U.S. title. He's got to
While
make
holding the US title,
he's got to make that shit relevant.
Yeah, and I think that's the telling story, right? I think like if you look at the women's, you have the IC and the US champions that they haven't really been doing much with. And
Oh
then
well, they're
and
starting to do something with the IC
yeah,
title.
but like
So dumb.
also on the side of the men's, those titles are not getting the same amount of story time as the world title.
Sure. No,
So
there's
it's like
way more money in the world title.
but I think they need to give them that to actually see what Jacob can do. So see what Jacob and whoever is gonna have a story along with him, what they
It's
can do.
it's
Um,
tough.
so it's like, yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's exciting. Jacob Fatu's great. LA Knight's great. Sucks that he already
lost.
lost it.
That they're feuding over a meaningless title,
Yeah,
and that's harsh. But like, I want it. I want them to be cool. I want the titles to be fucking cool.
yeah, to mean something when you win them. You want to be excited for that person to win it, and
Yeah, yeah,
or vice versa, or be like, God damn, now they have it. Now I'm gonna see
yeah,
them
yeah,
on
yeah,
TV
yeah.
with it.
Now
God
I have to
damn.
fucking deal with this. Yes,
But when they win
agree.
a title and have a title and they
And
disappear
you
with the
haven't seen the
title,
title,
you're like,
then
okay,
you're just like, okay, whatever. Like, I
yeah.
guess that's that.
You're like, oh, they're back. They're still champion. Cool.
Yeah, somebody must like him backstage, I guess.
Yeah. So it's like, just
I mean, he
give
earned
us
it for sure, but
do
yeah,
more with these titles.
would
More
love that.
story
6 hours of television.
for real.
I think. Christ, that fucking Raw, dude. The Raw after Mania the wrestling was so on point, but my God,
Yeah. 3 hours,
agonizingly
3 matches.
God, dude.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that well, when I was watching it, the second match had happened, and then I was like, oh, it's like we're an hour to go. There's only been 2 matches. I was like, what?
So much fucking, and it's not a lot of it. Not a lot of it was all needed. You did not have
No,
to do that.
no. A lot of it just felt like it was just, we got to do this. We got to add this person. We got to do this.
The Stone Cold thing you did not need.
Oh
Oh
my
wait, that was Mania.
That was Mania night too.
Fucking Mania, yeah. God.
1,
Anyways.
2, 3.
It was cute. It was cute. It was funny. It's always cool to see Stone Cold, but like, he rammed a very scared a lady. I hope she's okay.
Did you see the video before that when he missed going up the ramp?
No.
There's like the ramp where LA Knight went up with his car.
Yeah, the car.
Next to it was kind of just like the stage on the side.
Mhm.
He went that way and not up the ramp.
Oh shit.
So then he had to back up, but then hit the side of the ramp and he couldn't move further. So people had to pull him out of
No, so like I didn't watch it live. I saw the edited version. So anything like that,
okay.
they would have edited out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would have like, yeah, cut around that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was interesting.
Then let's see. US title, yeah. It was a good match. 3 moonsaults, and he's done. New title. New
The
champ.
reversal was dope. His fucking the moonsault into the, what do they call it?
BFT.
Yeah, fucking great.
That BFT.
That was a WrestleMania moment right there.
That's saying a lot.
I mean, it really is.
What else we had?
That was probably the first Mania moment. Yeah,
Nah.
I think that was the first Mania moment of the night.
That Jade shit, I would say.
The power bomb
into the finish, just like all the way.
True.
Yeah.
And
then
Tiffany Stratton.
Did you find it odd that they were so similarly geared up?
Yeah, definitely.
I found that very odd.
Was it intentional?
I didn't like it. It has to have been. However,
but why? Why would
I thought you'd really want to do a fucking a black gear and a white gear, or a red gear and a green gear. You know,
some
like
contrast.
Really, in comparing them, putting them together. I mean, come on, gang.
I mean,
like,
I mean, you would think that WWE, who has
they look so much alike,
creative control, would at
and
least...
they wrestle so similarly. Like,
yeah,
and that was kind of the story, and that was kind of also not the story.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe could have been more of like, you're just a shittier version of me, but the real story became like, is this a work or a shoot?
Yeah,
which is fine, which is fair, which is great.
Which is kind of how they were fighting. Is this a work or a shoot?
And I liked that.
Yeah.
There was a very scrappy physical match.
Yeah.
And I liked that. and it makes it easier for me to maintain interest.
Mm-hmm.
However, there were moments where I was watching it where I was like, who the fuck is who
Yeah.
in all the conundrum? Was that the point? Was that the art? Is
I
that
don't
art?
know. I
Is
don't know.
that
Can you imagine being nosebleed, like nose close to nosebleeds, and
you're just like,
not
yeah,
knowing who the
here they
hell's
go.
who?
And I was also bummed on top of that that it was a very almost intentionally Barbie pink.
Yeah.
It wasn't like too white uniform, white and gold. It wasn't black on gray, black on black. It was like, and so, Andy, I think it was all intentional, but I just don't know exactly what it means. And maybe that
It's
makes me stupid. I'm actually going to probably realize it probably some point tonight.
about
When
why?
it, yeah, I'll be chewing on it, and I'll be
It's
like, oh,
it's just crazy because it's like, to me, it's like, if WWE is so produced, who saw their gear and was like, yeah, you can
let's
do
make a
that.
match. Let's make
Like,
it look
just,
like a tag team.
yeah, because I would say, like, take the fans into consideration, right? Like, take the fans that are there into consideration to be
So
able to
what you were just
distinguish
saying.
who's who gear wise.
Maybe that's the point, and they're saying like, look, we can produce someone who is as great as Charlotte Flair. And
Damn.
of course you would get them confused because they're both so good. Is that it? Are they
Maybe,
is that
that's
is
so
that the
frustrating
message?
though.
Is
That's so
it?
frustrating if that's the point,
Yeah, because it's not, what I don't like about Andy is that it's cuz it's not new. It's just
Yeah.
like, here's another Hulk Hogan. Here you go. You love Hulk Hogan, here's another Hulk Hogan. You want another one? Here's another, you know what I mean? Like it's like that.
Yeah.
But the fans love to hate Charlotte Flair anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you differentiate the two of them?
Yeah.
That was just funny. I noticed.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it didn't make sense.
but I
It
liked the
didn't make sense.
physicality of the match. I enjoyed the intrigue of it. I think the right call was made
100%.
with
Yes.
Tiffany retaining. I don't
Yes.
know what the fuck you're gonna do with Charlotte Flair now.
Doesn't matter. It really
Kinda
doesn't.
doesn't, because she's Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
So
If she wants to go after the
she did
world
Stephanie
championship,
Becare's
fine.
thing. I was like, "What are you doing, hun? Get out of there."
Yeah. Maybe she goes after the US title.
Maybe she goes after the NXT title.
Maybe. Maybe.
She already
But yeah,
did that.
I think Stratton was the correct choice. I think for somebody that's
I was
young and they're bringing up, you can't have them
I was
taken
kind
out
of
like that.
relieved, to be
Yeah.
honest, because
Yeah.
it is Charlotte Flair after all.
Yep.
And usually when she comes back, she takes what's hers,
Yeah. Which
whatever
is
that
kind of
is.
like what everybody thought. Like, oh, here we go. She won the Rumble. Oh, here we go.
Right.
She's gonna win the
And
title.
she kind of left with a little nod of respect too.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I thought that
I
was
like
well
it too.
done.
I think they'll run it back.
It was, yeah, to your point, didn't really, it felt like it didn't super feel WrestleMania-y.
No. And I feel most of these felt that way.
I know you were very disappointed with night one.
Night one
Um,
was like, ugh. I just
some of
missed
it,
the feel. And like night two did
yeah,
that.
and it's odd when it just kind of ends like normal.
Yeah.
But then, like, if it didn't end normal, would be sitting here bitching about it being overproduced. Like, who knows? Who knows?
Maybe.
Pickle.
Triple threat: Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and
Yeah,
Mr. Roman Reigns.
Mr. Roman Reigns.
He's my
With
favorite wrestler.
Wrestler.
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge. Uh, with Paul Heyman in CM Punk's corner,
Yeah,
like that mattered.
mattered for the story.
Right.
Yeah, the whole Paul Heyman thing.
It was tough to. I think what happened was the best way to do it, so I was happy about that. I think the way Paul Heyman did it was good.
Yes.
In the only way that he can, Uh, I thought it was clear like that it was tough for him to do Punk and that the main target was Roman. Um, I think they played the tension at the end there all very well.
Yeah.
I think the Rumble was more violent than what they kind of did here. It was, and that's just an observation. That's not so much a criticism, but like with the double stomp and like hucking each other around.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember all that shit, man?
Yeah.
So like kind of having that in the back of my head as like, okay, that's that they gave us like that was the taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gave us like a little they're like, here's the menu, like here's what you're gonna eat. And then, I expected the match to be like really
More of
gratuitous.
that. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and that's okay.
Yeah. They had
But
some cool moments.
yeah,
The moments where they were like going into their finishers was really good.
always is. Yep.
Like the way that you can tell that their chemistry between the three is just
Yeah.
so good.
They're
so
pro.
good.
They're
Yeah.
pros.
Three guys that are 100% main eventers, and obviously why it's ending the show of night one. Not main eventing. It's not main eventing.
Yeah.
It's ending the show of night one.
So it was I guess I would say I was most intrigued by how they were going to play this one out.
Yeah.
And I think I am pleased with the way that they played it out.
Yeah, I
And
think Heyman does it
yeah.
perfectly. He's such a
He knows how to
it's
essentially he knows how to act and elicit emotion.
Yeah. The whole like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean to do that, and then low blow to CM Punk or low blow to Roman Reigns, and then you're like,
yeah, and
you
teasing the chair.
Yeah.
Like slowly.
I didn't mean to do that. It was for you. And then it's boom. I mean, yeah, he's a pro.
It was good. Fuck, what was I gonna fucking say? Oh, the following shit on Raw that occurred with it. We went off the air with that stuff. Braun Breaker is now aligned, yes, with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman.
What do you think they're doing there?
What do you think they're doing there?
I've seen things of like Shield 2.0.
Don't do that.
But like, who would they bring in? And the only thing I'm now seeing this and seeing another faction. Why is Paul Heyman the leader of these factions?
What do you mean? Like the bloodline? He's not the leader of the bloodline.
Like now that he's
that was Roman Reigns.
Bro, now that he's like turned on Roman Reigns, it's done. The whole bloodline thing is done.
Well, yeah, and it kind of has been.
And now Heyman's now gathering a group of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker.
That's what he does.
Exactly. He's essentially a leader of these factions.
Okay, you've convinced me.
But why? Why?
Oh, that's what he does. He can't wrestle and win a title, but he can prove he's the best and the dominance by being around those people. Yeah, that's his thing. He's the top guy, and he pulls top guys because they're with him.
Yeah. Now, do you think that having another faction and not just one person, like not just sticking to only Seth Rollins?
I think he's going to need a faction when he screwed over a faction, essentially by screwing over Roman Reigns, who could recruit his brothers, as well as a guy like bloodline. So I think he's going to need to surround himself with a bunch of people to protect himself from those guys.
Yeah.
Even if it's just Roman and CM Punk. Those are two guys on the roster you don't want coming after you at any point in time.
That's true.
And heaven forbid if Roman gets more backup, or if Punk gets backup, you're gonna want to be protected.
Who's CM Punk gonna get? Roxanne?
Well, that wouldn't make sense. She's a bad guy.
Well, if they get Becky Lynch,
Oh, God. Yo, so was that a night 2 match? The fucking women's tag?
Yes.
Disappointing.
Yes.
I hate when they do that shit.
Did I text you when I saw the Bailey stuff happen? Yes, I
Yes.
did immediately. I was like, "Oh, they're running an injury angle," because this was
Yeah.
before even night one happened. They're running
Correct.
an injury angle on Bailey. Um, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, and I guess, by the way, because I didn't watch it because I was out.
yeah,
I didn't have
and I
access to
wasn't
shit.
spoiling it for you.
No, but like what I thought, I guess, is that we were gonna see her like
Limp back.
WrestleMania style,
Yeah,
like yeah, gritting it out
I
and
thought
like
that was a
really,
possibility
really
until I
pulling
started
one off.
seeing.
The fact that they subbed her out for Becky, first off, we've got 10 minutes before this is an hour. So all I'll say is, first off, she won the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
And so that's supposed to be the main event or a title shot to main event WrestleMania. Wasn't, was put into a tag thing. What, like, what, dude? Like, oh my
you're
God.
saying
Like,
Bailey didn't win the Royal Rumble?
Bailey didn't win the Royal Rumble?
No, it was
Oh, Bianca.
Charlotte.
Oh, fucking Charlotte. You're right. You're right.
I was like, "Where are you going with this?"
I thought she won the Rumble, and I was about to be like, add that on top of all the shenanigans. Right. Okay. Run it back.
Yeah, and Bianca won Chamber.
Bianca won Chamber.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's how Bailey fits into this.
Bailey and Lyra were doing the tag team
They were doing the
tournament
tag team
thing.
thing, but then it started with Bailey first getting the Intercontinental title shot,
Yes.
and then they were going to team up, and then she got injured, so Becky Lynch could come in.
Yeah.
And get essentially
And win
to
the
go to
title.
Raw and get an IC title shot.
Yeah.
Man, just
like why wasn't that Bailey's moment?
What a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And that's kind of what they say, or some people say, about being a good soldier backstage.
Gets you that shit.
That's what it gets you, is kind of steamrolled for the bigger. Or,
yeah.
I mean, it ensures that you're not presented as one of the bigger.
Yeah.
It's weird. It was odd.
You saw that clip of the Van Vliet interview, right?
Yes, I sent it to you.
Yeah. Dude, it's such a bummer to.
She knows, yeah.
She's like, she knows exactly what's happening, and then before that, she's kind of talking about how she's not the kind of person to be like, "Well, no, I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't make sense for my character." But it's because it's like, how do you do that at the WWE? You
I have no
kind of
idea.
don't. You kind of can't, right?
I mean, some people
do,
and we see a lot of them on TV.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we see them when we see them with championships. Yeah, we see them win matches. I don't know, man.
Yeah, politics, man. I mean, the same reason why Matt Brannigan is in a New Japan World Champion. Politics,
man. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's an exclusive Matt Brannigan interview on Pacific Wrestling Network.
Instagram. That will be posted.
Instagram.
I haven't
that
done
will
so,
be posted.
but it will be posted. I promise.
It'll be there. There's a lot of good shit in there.
Yeah.
Along with most of our other award-winning Pacific Wrestling Network content. That brings us to the end of WrestleMania Night 1. Out of 5.
Out of 5. Oh.
What do we usually do? 10?
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't
Pick
matter,
a number.
man. Out of 5?
Out of 5? Sure.
What do you go first?
3.
Really? You're being generous. You're being generous because this is a public platform.
I'm being generous because the wrestling was good. It wasn't bad wrestling. It was just, it didn't feel WrestleMania.
I found like I was on my phone in the first bits.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I kind of gauge whether I'm attentive.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, I'm just gonna check.
Because you want that excitement. You want the
I
excitement from the
know.
beginning, and I think
I
this one
know you can't
started
have it all.
slow and
You
it
can't have it
like climbed.
all. I would have also given it a 3, Andy.
Well, there you go. A 3 from the two nice boys of night one.
And that's night 1 of WrestleMania. Your favorite match was? I know what
feel
it
like
is.
saying the last one's a cop out, so I'm
just say what's in your heart.
I'm gonna go with the Rey Fenix match.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
I'm gonna go with the Rey Fenix match.
Mine's the Jade match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there was just a lot more in those matches that felt like fuck yeah, you know?
I don't really know if they were WrestleMania matches either. It was just I
No,
found
it
myself
was just a
enjoying
great match.
that. It was just kind of a good wrestling match that I was just kind of like, I'm enjoying this very much. I like what's going on.
Yeah.
So with that concludes
Night 1.
WrestleMania Night 1. What did you think, listener? Why don't you fucking tell us? I'm fucking letting you go on Instagram. Tell us we were wrong.
Yell at us.
Tell us you were agreeing. Tell us you didn't watch it and that but you hated the episode anyway. I don't know,
like
man.
Dynamite and Collision better
Than WrestleMania as a whole. Yeah, give us your hot takes. That's really what we want. That's really what we're here for. We're here for hot takes
right here. Tell us how much you don't like Pat McAfee, how much you don't like Michael Cole, how much you do like them. I don't know. But who is your favorite? I forgot. Joe.
Tessitore. I do not like Joe Tessitore.
Well, you're going to hear a lot of him on Raw since Pat McAfee's gone.
Since Pat McAfee is out.
But yeah, let us know and follow us at Pacific Wrestling Network and on the Instagram, Twitter, everything and everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, anything,
Twitch.
Everywhere. And
we'll have a episode for night 2.
Yes, we will. And remember,
be glorious. Okay?